Hi, y'all. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your host, Sarah, and Talon is here with me. And today we're recording from bed, in fact. We're going to talk about why validation is so important when you experience borderline personality disorder. And the reason that I thought of this episode is that we recently had a hard couple of days that included me feeling invalidated and you realizing kind of like once again how important validation can be in this relationship.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scenario I'm thinking about?
Yes, I think I do.
So everyone knows that I recently started a new job and
Yep.
we're coming to learn that for me, the going into the office is like really not a good fit. The best fit for me really is remote work, and I wouldn't have known this if I hadn't have tried, so congratulations to me on trying. But some of the benefits for me of remote work are like if I begin to dysregulate and I'm in an office, I really can't re-regulate the same way that I'm able to re-regulate at home because I've got people around me. And I didn't realize how impactful that would be. I honestly didn't even think about it when I took this new job because I've been working remote for so long. So you don't know what you don't know. But in the kind of process of talking with Talon about like, I really don't like this. This isn't working for me. I do feel like I experienced a little bit of lack of validation. And it led to a really big dysregulation episode that I have to be accountable for. My behavior was not okay in that episode of dysregulation, but for me, it was like a reminder of how powerful validation can be in being seen by your partner. So that's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Well, how was it for you to recognize in my episode of dysregulation, you sort of came to the realization of like, oh, I wasn't validating her the way that I needed to.
How was that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, it fucking sucked. It sucks, like, realizing that you didn't, show up for your partner the way they needed or, like, the way you usually do. Because I will say that I feel I am pretty freaking validating.
You are.
So it sucks. I think that like a large part of the dysregulation episode, I'll say my part in it at least was very like I just wasn't really understanding like all I was getting feedback wise was like you're not validating me, and I wasn't really understanding like how am I not being validating? Because I felt like I was, but it wasn't that I was or wasn't. I wasn't validating the right emotions or the emotions that needed to be validated at the time. And I just wasn't really understanding, I guess, what I needed to do so we could get out of this like loop. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I wasn't communicating very clearly because I was so dysregulated by my own feelings of like I invalidated myself or I was gaslighting myself and I was not honoring my feelings and I was just getting angry at myself and therefore getting angry at you.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, oh my God, I'm such a failure. I made the wrong choice. All of those things that I talked about in the change doesn't make you a failure episode. I was like not being able to practice with myself.
Right.
And so you were sort of like, no, we need to stick this out. We need to, make this work. There's so many benefits to our family in this job. And I was like, you're not fucking understanding me.
Yeah.
Like, you're not hearing how bad this is for me. Like, yes, I understand the benefits. And also, like, they aren't worth it for me.
Right. Yeah, that was really hard. That was really, really hard.
So the power of validation, when I think about validation for people with BPD, I think about all of the times in our lives when we've felt invalidated and how damaging that can be to our sense of self and especially like our trust in ourself and how invalidation can like it can feel like gaslighting.
It can?
Yeah, like it can feel like, wait, you think that what I'm saying is crazy because you're not kind of like seeing it.
Oh, I understand. I understand. It can like very easily like being invalidated can very easily be used as like ammunition to like gaslight yourself.
That's sort of how it feels, I think.
That's how it sounds, the way you're explaining it to me.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's very, very painful to be invalidated. And like those of us with BPD have experienced invalidation from the people who were supposed to validate us the most frequent when we were really young about the most important things. And we often, not all of the time, but often didn't get that.
Right.
And so when I think about validation, I think about that's a direct bridge to regulation. And when that invalidation isn't met, it's like you're falling into the water.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say I feel like you uh sometimes when you're very, very dysregulated, it feels to me perhaps like you can't be validated in the moment, like you won't accept it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that feels true for you, but that's how it feels like on the receiving end.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I wrote about that today in my journaling practice about like I have this memory of my mom telling me no matter how many times I love you, you don't believe me.
Oh,
And so that theme stands out to me of like nothing is ever enough or I want too much or I need too much and people can't give what I need or what I want.
oh, I don't feel like it's like that to me. I feel like it's you you don't believe it. Like it's like I guess I mean in the moment I guess it feels like I can't do enough, but when I step outside of it and I'm like here now, not in it, it doesn't look or feel like I'm not doing enough. It looks and feels like you can't believe that anyone would love you enough to validate you and to tell you the truth about you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. One of the things I was thinking was like when you say it's like your validation doesn't work, I think people expect validation to help us go from dysregulated to regulated right away. And like that's not the
Yes,
goal.
that is 100% not my expectation, but definitely like my hope.
Yeah, and
Maybe that's unrealistic.
it's completely unrealistic. And I
Yeah,
think like validation is only so powerful. Like it's so important, but it's only so powerful in that it can't take us from a 90 back to a 10.
oh, right.
It can take us from a 90 back to a 50, but then there's other things that we have to do in addition to validation to get back to regulation.
Right. That makes total sense.
So I think having some realistic expectations both on your end and on my end is really important.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think.
Because when I'm validated, when I'm regulated, that's very powerful.
Yeah, definitely. Like, well, I mean, when you're regulated, you have fewer walls up, right? Like, you have fewer defenses up. You're able to be receptive to any and all kinds of input, whether it be like validation or affirmation, or even like, when you're regulated, you're even like down to like take criticism. You know what I mean?
I would say down to take feedback.
Feedback, criticism, you know what I mean? Like not criticism, but like, yeah, like feedback. You're down, constructive criticism. There we
Yeah.
go. So, yeah, I definitely want to say though, I don't think that validation is going to take you from like a 90 to a 10 every time, but when shit is popping off, it is definitely my unrealistic hope that this will just like be the thing that'll just get us back to like a calmer place. But I think a lot of that is my own internalized, like my internal like panic when things like that are happening. Because this is very, very confusing.
Yeah, I can imagine how it would be confusing.
Yeah, it's a lot of things are happening all at once.
Yeah, when we had that episode, when that last week or the week before when
It's
that
like a week
happened,
or two before.
it was the worst dysregulation I had had in years, and I was completely off the rails. I was not behaving appropriately. I could not get it together. Lorazepam wasn't working. Like, I imagine for you, you probably were just like, what the actual fuck is happening?
Yes, that's exactly like what I was thinking. Oh, 100% what I was thinking. And I was very rapidly losing patience. Like, which is a pretty that's a pretty big thing for me to say because I think I'm a pretty patient human being.
You are.
I'm a very patient human. And I was like, okay. I was very much coming to a point where I was not having a lot of like patience or space for you, for sure.
No, I remember. And I remember you started to argue with me, and I looked at you and I said, "Do you forget who you're arguing with? Because I can go all fucking night."
Yeah.
And you were just like, you literally had a moment where you were like, "Oh yeah."
I did. I remember I took my glasses off and I was like, oh, fuck, you're right. Yeah.
Like, let's go, baby. I'm in it to win it.
Yeah, that took the wind out of my sails. I'm like, no, I don't have the energy to do that.
Yeah, no, and I mean, like, in all seriousness,
Yes,
if you're a partner on the receiving end of this, I'm not saying it's fair, but I am saying that trying to argue is not going to work.
No.
It's not, you're not going to argue your way out of
No.
borderline symptoms.
No.
When we're dysregulated, the only thing that's going to be helpful is like softness,
Yeah.
validation,
Yep.
patience,
Yep.
and reminders to use our DBT skills,
Yep.
and medication.
Yeah, I do want to
Combination of those things.
Yes, I do want to clarify that I was not arguing because I thought I was going to argue away the BPD symptoms. I was arguing to argue.
Yeah, because you were pissed at that point.
I was picking a fight. I absolutely was. I will own that. I was like in my very like irrational no impulse control moment. I was like, okay, like you want to be a fucking asshole, I'll be an asshole back. That's fine. And then you were like, you remember who you're trying to argue with? And I was like, fuck. Okay, never mind. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'll backtrack.
Skirt.
Yeah, I didn't backtrack, but I was just like, fuck. I think at one point I was like, you're right. I know exactly who I'm trying to argue with, and it's just dumb. But yeah, I wanted to fucking argue with you.
I will say, once that validation finally hit me, you had to take you finally got it. You finally understood like how powerful what you were saying was in terms of me receiving it as invalidation.
Yeah.
And then when you were able to say, I didn't see how what I was saying, how that was impacting you. You said that. You said, I didn't know that what I was saying was impacting you like this.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything is worth your mental health. If you need to find another job, we're going to find you another job. Once you finally said that, I was like, okay, I can breathe. And then you said that a few times, a few different ways. You apologized.
Yeah.
I apologized.
Yeah.
And then it was the path to re-regulation. And it really was, validation was the 90 to 50 in that moment. It was so powerful. And then I had to do the rest of the things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we got there. It was intense though.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I think that like it's important to talk about things like this that happen. It's just like not realistic to just pretend that everything is like sunshine and candy and rainbow and like everything's amazing and everybody always is perfect and we say the right thing and we have amazing timing. And I mean, I will say I just have horrible timing most of the time. So it was nice to like get through that episode or whatever and be able to then like re-regulate together and like repair together and do all of that stuff. Like that is good. It was just such like a real reminder of what you're living with every day, all the time, all day, every hour, every moment, like that was a good reminder for me. Not that I ever really forget, but sometimes like we have to put things like in the back, because other things are in the front. And sometimes your BPD is always in the front, but sometimes I do have to kind of put it to the side. Does that make sense? Like it can't always be my focus because other things have to take priority over that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, you're busy scanning magic cards.
Okay. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I mean, but seriously though, like you scanning magic cards is important. You having your own life is important. My mental health can't be the forefront of your life all the time.
Yes,
That's
thank you for
that's not fair to you.
that's what I was trying to say. And it's not because I don't love you, and it's not because I don't care, and it's not because I'm not invested in your happiness and your mental health. It's just like sometimes I can't do it all the time. Nobody should do it all the time. You
No.
shouldn't do it all the time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, thank you for wrapping up my long-winded brain vomit rot. I just was trying to think of how to say it, but I just couldn't.
Yes.
It's so clear in my head sometimes, but just can't really be like,
Well, that's the first thing they teach you in graduate school is reflective listening, baby.
fuck, thank God for this master's degree, man. Whew. Really reaping the benefits of that bad boy right now.
So one of the things the validation does is it helps us not feel crazy.
Yes, yes, which is so important, I feel like, probably for your guys' community, mostly because everybody always says y'all are crazy.
Yeah.
Like, all the time. And, like, that's all I feel like all your bad experiences that you've regaled me with or whatever, you were the crazy one, you were the jealous one, you were the throw your shit down the stairs, one. And I can't imagine how horrible it is to always be that one, because even if you're man, even if like you are in every right to be quote unquote the crazy one, right? Like maybe your reactions aren't that off to a situation. It doesn't matter because your reactions were off to other situations, so you will always be overdramatic, doing too much, doing the most. And so like because maybe a few times people couldn't understand your behavior, now every time they just use your past as a reason to never understand your behavior. Thus, you are constantly invalidated
Yes.
by your past experiences, how people perceived you, and this new thing, whatever it might be, is just one more fucking stick on the pile.
Yeah, because it's like whenever your feelings are so big or quote unquote too big, then you're inherently being dismissed.
Right, because it's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal.
Right. So if it's not that big of a deal, then it's like it's not a deal at all.
Right. And that's such a shitty position to be in for a very specific community who really like does have big emotions, and those emotions are real.
And they're not getting smaller.
No.
And they've
They're
been
not.
this big your entire life. And
Yeah.
frankly, they're inconvenient. They're
Yeah.
inconvenient to us. They're inconvenient to other people. And most importantly, the other people, because when they're inconvenient to other people, then other people ignore them.
Oh, I was more thinking it's more inconvenient for you guys having to like live like that.
No, it fucking sucks. Don't get me wrong. But when they're inconvenient to other people, then you're constantly invalidated by other people.
Right, because it's too much for them to handle or whatever,
Right.
whatever the excuse is or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. That is wild.
And so when you are, not to wrap it back to the DSM criteria, but
You're
when
good.
you are validated, it says you can have a real sense of self, right? Like your emotions aren't making you bad. They're not making you broken. They're not making you quote unquote crazy. So you can really develop a sense of who you are outside of those negative adjectives that people can place on us. Like, I'm not the crazy one. I'm not the mentally ill one. I'm the one that likes to write. I'm the one that likes to be a German Shepherd mom. I'm the one that is athletic. But those are not the things that I think of when I think about myself.
No. Oh,
And I do think a lot of it is that lifelong experience of invalidation.
that's so sad. That makes me so sad. Ugh. I hate that for you guys. I hate that for you.
Yeah, it's always interesting when you get so quiet, when you have those moments of like, oh, I hear, I get it.
Yeah.
Even just like you being quiet right now is like validating in a way because I'm like, oh, he's really sitting with it.
Yeah, it's horrible. So heavy. Ugh. That's just like so heavy all the time, every day. No wonder you don't like believe that like people love you. God. Oh.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's just heavy.
Yeah, it is heavy.
Just like I know all of these things, they're not new, but like, you know, like you said, sitting with them or whatever is just heavy. It's like a heavy thing to sit with,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, in closing, I do think it's important to say, yes, validation is 1000% important. And if you're in a relationship where you are frequently invalidated, I hope you'll look at that relationship and ask yourself, is this sustainable for me? Because we all deserve and need loving, supportive, validating partners, friends, parents, coworkers, bosses, like anyone we're interacting with, we deserve to feel validated by. But I will say validation is not the same as being agreed with.
Yes.
And that's important and that's okay too.
Good caveat. Good caveat. I would like to say that you might even be with a very validating, supportive, amazing partner, and they're not always going to have it for you every single time that you need it. I'm going to say that. And that doesn't mean that they are an invalidating partner. I think that having realistic expectations about what validation can do is important, as well as like how not how much work validation takes, but the person, your partner who validates you isn't always gonna be able to do it right when you need it, and they might not say the right thing, and they might not have the best timing, and that doesn't inherently mean that they are trying to harm you, I guess. That's my own personal thing, because like I'm never trying to cause harm when I swing and miss, which I do. I swing and miss sometimes,
Yeah.
you know. So
And it doesn't feel like to me you're trying to cause harm. It does feel like a big fucking strikeout, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I'm dysregulated, it does feel like a big strikeout.
Yeah. It feels like that to me too.
I do think when I was younger, it probably felt like someone was intentionally trying to cause me harm.
Yeah. I think I more said that for anybody who maybe is at that place and for maybe like saying that for like younger you because she's still around.
Yeah.
Like I always am trying to like make sure I never intend to hurt you when I do because with oh man, with being in a partnership and stuff, sometimes we hurt each other's feelings and say the wrong thing or, whatever. And I just always want you to know I never, ever want you to feel like I meant to hurt you or like hurt you through negligence. It's never like not caring or trying to cause harm. It's always just, I swung and I missed.
Yeah. Well, and I know that I did that the other night. I thought I was making a joke and it didn't hit and it was really invalidating to you.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I remember sitting in the car and you told me like you hurt my feelings and I was just like, "Oh, fuck." And I replayed it and I was like, "Of course I hurt his feelings." Like that wasn't if he didn't realize that where it was a joke or it being a joke didn't matter because it landed off. Of course I hurt his feelings. And I was like, God damn it. Like, how do I let him know I love him? Like, how do I let him know I didn't mean it and I don't think anything negative about him or whatever? Like, I was on the receiving end of knowing I swung and I missed.
Yeah.
And I never want to do that, but I know I'm going to.
Yeah.
And tonight, even, you were so angry in the car about forgetting the VIN number
I was very mad.
to go to O'Reilly's because we needed a part for the truck.
Yeah.
And you were huffing and puffing, and little Sarah was starting to come up.
Yeah.
And I didn't say this to you, and I don't think I did anything that indicated that, but I was just like taken back to being a child in a car with an angry parent.
Yeah.
And I was like in our car, just like, get me the fuck out of here. But I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything because I knew I'm not in the car as a young Sarah with an angry parent. I'm in the car with my husband who's frustrated, who's allowed to be frustrated right now. And I remember like I put my hand on the back of your neck and I was just like, what do you need?
Ugh, yeah, that was so nice that you asked that. Yeah, I was fucking livid. I hate forgetting stuff. I hate the Swiss cheese brain where things just fall through. Ugh.
ADHD at its finest, baby.
Dude, seriously, it is so frustrating. Like the amount of time in my life that I have lost because I had to go back or I forgot this thing or I was running late to this because of that. No, I forgot oh my God. I have so little patience for myself with it. And I just, sometimes when I forget, really it does feel like the end of the world.
Yeah.
Because there's one more thing I got to go back and redo or whatever, and that's besides the point. But yeah, you asking what I needed was really helpful.
Well, I love you. What is one thing you want to leave people with about validation and why it's so important?
I don't know, man. It fucking feels good. It's like running, a burn under cold water or whatever. Like, it just feels better. Like, it's like, like I can breathe,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like validation is a way for us to feel seen. And I think that's so important. Like, it's one thing for people to be like, oh, I see you, I hear you. Like, yeah, okay, cool, great, whatever. But when you're really validating someone, being able to say, like, I understand how that impacted you. If that were me, I would feel similarly, or whatever it might be. That's just a way for us to feel seen. And I think everybody desperately wants to be seen for who they are. and loved for that person. What about you? What you got?
I had a tarot card reading the other day, and one of the things that they said was you have to figure out what the bridge to shamelessness is. Because
Oof.
right now you're on the shame side of the bridge, but shamelessness is waiting for you. And I think validation has to be a part of that bridge for me.
Yeah.
Learning to validate myself has to be a part of the path to experiencing less shame.
Yeah.
And so I hope everyone listening can practice validating themselves, because yes, we can get it from other people. And yes, we need it from other people. And that's so powerful. But also we have to learn to give it to ourselves.
Yeah.
It's the bullshit. You have to put the mask on your own face first.
Yeah. I do agree with that. I feel like if you can accept your own validation, it makes external validation easier to accept.
Yeah.
Yeah. Practice or whatever.
Practice makes not perfect, baby.
That's right.
All right, y'all. Thanks so much for listening. And I hope you can practice validating yourself and someone else today. Hi, listeners. Thank you for tuning in to the Bold, Beautiful Borderline podcast. I hope you enjoyed the episode today. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your content. That is super helpful for me. It helps us find additional folks who want to listen to the show, want to feel seen, family members who want to learn, and partners who want to understand. If you want to follow along to more than just the podcast, find us on Instagram at Bold Beautiful Borderline, find me at Borderline from Hell, or head over to boldbeautifulborderline.com, where there's information, resources, a place to leave a voicemail to be heard on the podcast, which I love, and just general content. All of that information can be found in the show notes. And if you want to get exclusive content, which is bonus episodes, journal prompts, worksheets, all sorts of extra stuff, sometimes videos of me with my hair very crazy with kind of impulsive borderline rants, head over to Patreon and consider becoming a member. That is super helpful with creating content that allows me to destigmatize BPD and all of the other wild mental health struggles that we discuss on the podcast. A huge thanks to everyone who joins on the podcast to share their story and just generally helps keep this thing alive. Especially my friend Corey Evans from the Evergreen Band. He produced and created the music that is the intro and outro for this show, as well as the cover art that was created by my husband, Talon Abbott. Their information is found in the show notes. All of the information discussed in the podcast is purely personal experience. This is not medical recommendations. This is not therapy recommendations. There's no producer for this show. It's all me.